Hey guys, this is Shot for Shot, the podcast. I'm Kenneth Patterson. We are at the Bird in the Book. Your host for tonight is Tyler Broadway. Bring him out. Hey, Tyler.
Hello, and welcome to Shot for Shot, the podcast.
The podcast.
I'm your host, Tyler Broadway. This is our co-host, Kenneth Patterson.
Hey, how you doing?
How is everyone doing in the podcast world? Bullshit. That's.
I hope good.
Can't
I hope
answer
good.
that. So I wanna go ahead and just kick into this. This happened yesterday to me. A lot of you who don't know or whatever, I have been going to therapy for about a year now.
Big leap.
It's a big leap for someone to take the steps to work on their mental health. And so I got there before my appointment, and
Which is good.
Which
That's
is
what you're
good.
supposed
I
to
got
15
there,
minutes before,
good
right?
15 minutes before.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, I think.
And then my appointment was at 9:30 a.m., and then 10 o'clock hit, and I got stood up by my therapist.
She never showed up?
She never showed up. And I texted her, and she said, "Oh, I didn't have you on the schedule today." When I scheduled it with her before I left.
Oh, so you know you were on the schedule.
I'm going to have to talk to her. I'm going to have to explain that this has re-triggered my abandonment issues, my defectiveness issues, and quite frankly, I am therapist. Quite therapist.
You have every right to be.
I mean, yeah.
You have every right to be.
And I also just wonder, who does she see?
Who do we need to talk to?
Because therapists go to therapy, right?
Yeah.
After
they have to, right?
having and taking in all the shit from people, they gotta
I think they just call it work.
Right. Okay. So after work,
they have to work some more. It's called
work.
follow up.
Yeah. Who do they talk to, and where does the line end? Who is the head master therapist that's taking in all the therapists?
The lead, the captain therapist.
Yeah.
Who's
where's
the captain?
Schrodinger's therapist?
I don't know.
The one that's both real and taking in all the therapists is emotional shit and not their emotional shit.
Yeah, how does he deal?
Who does he talk to?
I know.
I think it's
oh my
an
God,
influence.
we could he just talks to the younglings,
The younglings.
the therapists that are just in college.
So okay, so he talks to the is he all cynical about listen, yeah, you kid,
yeah.
you want to be a therapist
He
and
definitely
help
is.
people? All right, I think that's enough
Yeah.
of that. Ken, you want to call up our guest for the evening?
Yeah, I'll call up our guest for this evening. Oh no, wait just a second, guys. There we go. Hey guys, this is the Shot for Shot podcast. Our guest for this evening is Amanda Kruel. She's a good friend of the shows, a confidant, a comedian out of Knoxville, one of the best. She's getting a lot of traction lately. She's here.
Yeah, she's one of the hardest working ones.
Hardest working comedians I know.
I'm glad it looks that way.
You think that you're on par with everybody else?
I hope so.
Yeah?
I hope
think
so.
I think so.
I think
Above par.
you're always doing something. Any show that I've seen happening, you're involved in some way. So
I'm glad because I try to make it look that way, that I'm the man behind the curtain. I'm the master
You really are
therapist.
doing it. You're doing well.
Thank you.
So Amanda, how have you been doing? How are you this fine afternoon?
Well, it's Mother's Day.
Hey.
Yeah, so I called my mom right before I came here.
Nice. Did she answer?
Yes, she did.
Oh, cool. I called mom and she didn't answer.
Yeah.
Yep.
I kind of was hoping she wouldn't. But
Yeah, that's what I was hoping too. It happened.
Well, my mom's deceased, so I didn't really call her. I messaged my brother.
We could Ouija her, dude.
I didn't feel like a Ouija-ing her. She's nodding off in heaven because she died of an overdose. But
Yeah.
I didn't mean to make it so depressing. But so I just text my brother.
I would like him to think in heaven that the drugs are so good you never overdose on them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but so she's nodding off in heaven.
Yeah.
Nodding off.
Fuck.
I feel like that's our first country hit.
Nodding off in heaven. Dun, 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 dun. Put the needle dun, dun, in my wing.
It's another Mother's Day, and my mother's gone away 'cause she's nodding off in heaven.
Oh, yeah. There it
Oh,
is.
I like where you go. Nodding off in heaven. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I like that. I was this close to bringing the Get Joe.
Oh.
What's that?
The
It's
Get
a
Joe?
guitar that's made like a banjo, so you don't have to learn how to play the banjo. You just
Oh.
know how to play the guitar, and you're good.
I mean, why is it not called a
Banjar?
Banjar? Yeah, that's what it is.
I think
Banjar.
I like Get Joe better. I went back and forth.
That just sounds like an insult. You banj tar.
I think
Frickin' banj tar.
He's such a Banjar.
I think technically it's just a guitar,
It's a guitar, but it's kind of like a.
but it's like made like a banjo.
Yeah, it's like
It's got like a skin on it. And
It's like a
okay.
banjolele.
yeah. It's
I was
like a
gonna say, I've heard of
banjolele.
banjoleles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is
Banjolele.
if you're just tuning into the show, you've never listened to it or watched it before. We take shots of alcohol, and then we take shots
At each other.
at each other in the world. So, Amanda, what's a good like cheers? What should we?
Let's cheers for Mother's Day and non-Mother's Day.
Yeah.
To
For those who
like
have
mothers.
mothers and those who don't.
Yeah. Perfect.
We all have a mom. We're all
Cheers.
moms.
We've all got that one friend's mom that's like kind of like your mom,
Yeah.
like the better mom you wish you had. Oh fuck. For sure.
Oh God.
Always pleasant, Tyler.
Are you trying to?
I was trying to burp. I thought I had one. It failed.
Do you need help with your non-marketed soda?
My Nola. Nola.
Yeah, do you need help with your non-marketed cola? This
Think
show
I
is
made
brought
it.
to you by non-marketing cola. It is cola that is unmarketable.
Unremarkable, unmarked.
Unremarkable and unmarketable. Unmarketable cola. Taste the generic.
Yes.
And now back to our program. So, Amanda,
Yes.
something I don't think I've ever got to ask you this or like touch the subject on it, but like what got you into comedy?
Honestly, it was Beth Tompkins,
Oh,
who I heard is actually scheduled to do the show soon.
yep.
Oh, we have Beth Tompkins.
Yeah,
I
it's-
don't know her.
yeah.
So that'll
It's
be a good-
her and is it Darian?
Darren.
Yeah,
Darian?
it's going to be True Grit. That's
Yes.
the name of their
Yes.
comedy group.
Oh, cool.
And they're doing the show in June.
Yes. So
Nice.
she kind of founded that when, right after I got out of politics. So I did politics for a year and a half. I really think that was just a
okay.
manic episode.
Yeah.
So, and then afterwards, started hanging out with Beth more and started going to her shows. And she suggested I try it, and I did.
Nice.
And
Nice.
like everything I try, I succeed.
Yep.
Except suicide.
Well, that's the one thing that, it could go either way. You
That-
hope you don't succeed. You hope you succeed.
Yeah.
You know.
You
If
know.
I had kids, I would want them to fail because if any children were raised by me, they would absolutely try to kill themselves.
You got the suicide gene.
The
think it's a
mom
gene?
genes. They got the mom genes. She said she wants to see this, so this is going to be
Oh,
fun.
that's
Oh,
gonna be so
nice.
cute. Hi,
Yeah.
Amanda's mom.
Hey.
I don't know if she's like.
She's cool.
She's cool?
Probably
Okay, is
drinking
she-
when she's watching this.
Okay, cool. So she'll
yeah,
take
yeah,
shots
yeah.
with us.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, Mom. I hope you're drinking.
So let's explain to. Actually, I want to take a step back before we get into the monolith. I want to know about like. So you did like political work, like political campaigning, or helping on the campaign.
Yeah, so I started in 2015 as a volunteer for the Bernie campaign, and I ended up being hired by the campaign, so I kind of ran it in Knoxville,
Nice.
which was fun. And then they moved me up to Delaware for their primary, and I did that, and I came back. Oh, and then there's the whole WikiLeaks thing.
Oh yeah.
Which I think we've talked about briefly, but the DNC's not a fan of me because I throw shade on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
That's what I do. But
Heck yeah. Throw your Twitter out here so we can.
Squeeds. It's at SK Weeds
At SK Weeds on Twitter
Squeeds. And it's
and Instagram.
and Instagram and Facebook and Venmo and PayPal and Cash App
Yeah,
and
yeah.
YouTube.
What?
I made it up when I
Click,
like
clack.
20 years ago.
Yeah,
Squeeds.
what does squeeds mean?
Squeeds was like I was making, back when you had to make a username on every single website.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to come up with something, oh shit, and then add some numbers to it or whatever because someone else had it. So I was like, I'm going to make something up that no one has. And I made up Squeeds.
And no one has squeeds.
No one has Squeeds. No
And
one.
So there's not really like a meaning behind it. It's just
exactly. It's just a made up. It's people say it's fun to say, and sometimes when they see me, they like Squeeds.
Squeeds.
That hasn't happened in a while, and I
get
should not
it.
have mentioned it.
No, now it's
No,
gonna
I'm
happen
gonna start doing
all
it all the time.
Yeah, I know.
Jinx can. You owe me a blowjob.
It's a unmarketable,
You-
unmarked soda.
Exactly.
Pinch poke, owe me a soda.
It's unmarketable. So, Amanda, I don't know if you noticed, but we have this monolith.
Hey, it gives us
Hey.
topics. It steers the conversation. It tells us when we're wrong, we're right, if we need it.
If we need it, of course.
Nice.
Sometimes, we might.
It listens in like your cell phone. And it sells your data to telemarketers, much like your cell phone.
Well, that's interesting. I'm excited. I love getting calls from telemarketers, and you make it like seem like you're falling for their scam, and then you wait. It's like, oh, here's my social. Let me get my social. It's 4, 8. Hang on a second. I gotta go try. Just do that.
I like texting the ones back really vulgar things. I called one a child molester when it was, it was
Nice.
a campaign for someone around here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like I don't
local.
know. I don't know if I have
Local
it
descent,
still.
huh?
Yeah.
Fun fact: this is why I am no longer allowed in in that sort of politics.
Is it because of calling people pedophiles?
No, but I was supposed to be checking the text and making sure that none of the volunteers were saying anything stupid or inappropriate. And then, we get texts from people like you all the time. You're a pedophile.
You're a pedophile. You fucking
Joe
pedophile.
Biden is a very touching candidate. Shit like that.
Yeah.
But someone had said a text that said, blow me. And I was like, you know what? And I switched it over to me, and I responded, and I was like, okay, where are you? I'll come blow you.
It's blowing time.
It's blowing time. Yeah, but they were, again, checking the text and making sure that their volunteers weren't doing anything stupid. I was volunteering. I did something stupid.
So you guys aren't allowed to reply back to people who are fucking with you?
To an extent, but not to that extent.
not to the full extent.
Yeah.
But you switched to your number, so how is that like?
Because you can't.
Oh, no, I didn't switch to, it was still, I just switched it to my account. It's all done on your
Okay.
computer. It's not done through phones at all.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Okay, where you're at?
terrible decision on my part, but has helped me focus more on comedy.
Well, I just
I actually had a lot of. I had a floating childhood best friends, but one of my favorite childhood best friends story was these kids named Josh and Tex.
Josh and Tex.
Yeah, they were brothers, right?
Were they twins?
No, I think one was older than the other one.
I mean,
Tex
is it
w-
possible for
Tex was the
anyone-
younger brother.
two siblings to be exactly the same age? One of them, neither is older.
Not.
Neither is
Squeeze them out
older.
at the same time.
They were exactly twins. They came out side by side,
They were conjoined twins.
conjoined twins. But they would gang up on me and beat me up all the time because we were just. I would always cut through their backyard because it was Eagleton, and
Right.
that's the only way you could get anywhere. Is cut through some backyards. And so when they catch me cutting through the backyards, they gang up on me and beat me up. Well, one day I caught Tex, the younger kid. I whooped him good. Right, whooped him so good. These kids were my friends after that.
Is this a male thing that men do?
I think
Oh,
it is
yeah,
a male
it has
thing.
to be.
Yeah, like a lot of the times, like men would fight and then they would like be friends after
That's
that
how-
because they got
that's how
the
that
aggression
works.
out.
Yeah, got all the aggression. We establish who can beat up who one on one.
Yeah, and then like
Right.
the chain of command goes
To me.
to Ken. Apparently, he beat up some kid named
You're
Tex.
the one above us all.
Yeah, that's
so.
right.
Yeah, I mean, beating up someone, if you beat up some dude named like Melvin, beating
That's-
up someone named Tex is way more.
Yeah, it was good.
That
this-
means a lot.
And Tex was the younger brother, but he was the bigger brother. So
Okay.
it it was worth it.
Yeah, there was a lot of that when I was a kid too. Like we would have we had this gated in place to like put your dog at, but they had like enough room to run around. My brother threw me and the mentioned before Tommy into a cage with this other kid, and they wouldn't let us out until they saw some blood. Like it was really like savage.
This is your older brother?
Yeah, my older brother like did that. But I mean,
How much older?
just by 2 years.
Couple years.
Just by a couple of years.
I was never that cruel to my sister, mostly because she would not let me near her.
Oh.
Wisely. I think she was like playing piano one morning, practicing piano at like 7 a.m. like during summer break, and I like closed the piano lid on her fingers, on the keys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so mean.
I mean, she moved them out in time. She's, she
Yeah.
has human reaction.
So
times.
you just did like a Pretty Woman to her. That part in Pretty Woman where Richard Gere has like the ring. Julia Roberts is about to reach for it, and then he just slams it, and she's like,
Oh, I do not remember
No?
that part.
Okay. Maybe just me that's seen Pretty Woman.
I've seen it. I just
Oh, definitely seen Pretty Woman.
That
It's-
part where, like, he offers her the necklace and, like, she's about to reach out for it and he just shuts it.
Yeah.
And she's just like,
Is it one of those folding boxes that's like a clamshell
like
that's
the-
really big?
yeah, like the velvet filling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My mom gave me a necklace that came in one of those, and I can't get rid of the box.
No.
It's a really fucking nice box.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's an incredibly nice box. Like, I love those boxes.
Need to figure out what to put in there.
Another necklace?
Yeah, okay.
You know.
That works.
Just like anytime you get another necklace, just
Anytime
put in
I
the
get
other-
another, I'm going to write that
Write that
down.
down.
Necklace and
Box.
necklace box. Genius. That's probably why it's a necklace box. It's for necklaces.
So, like, I do have I'm kind of curious of, like, we got an idea of how I was as a kid.
Yes.
Was kind of a shithead. I'm curious on, like, how you guys were as well. I'm thinking Ken was also a shithead.
It could go either way. So I was a really good friend to have because I was always we were always building a fort or in the woods doing something, running away from home,
Right.
I was a real, boxcar detective type of kid,
Real boxcar.
Did you read the Boxcar Children books?
Yeah.
Those were good.
Oh, yeah.
No,
yeah.
I never read those. What are they?
Oh, they're just about
Probably
this,
at any
It's
library.
about this nefarious pack of children that solve crimes, various mysteries that they have nothing to do with. It's kind of like a wholesome Scooby-Doo.
I love it because it's like there's these children and somehow they're homeless and they like live in an abandoned boxcar.
Yeah, they're boxcar children.
And then they like find, I can't remember how they get it, but they either steal or get a job to make enough pennies to get butter. And then they find a waterfall and they can put the butter behind the waterfall and that keeps it cold.
Geniuses, little
Oh.
boxcar geniuses.
Do you think there's like
Yeah.
a movie adaptation of the Boxcar Children?
Let's make one.
Yeah, we should make one. We should film one.
Except the boxcar middle-aged losers.
That's what I was about to say. The Boxcar kids have grown up.
Yes.
In a world when
Guys, we got to get the gang back together. We need to get the pennies.
one last mystery, guys.
One last Boxcar hoorah.
None of us have ever gotten a home yet, so
Yeah, like they're still homeless.
Yeah.
They don't-
Yeah.
Now they're just like sucking dick for crack.
Crack.
well, I got a job that pays more than pennies, fellas.
Finally.
Unfortunately, I have a crippling crack addiction.
Yeah. That'll do it. I was not a boxcar child myself.
Oh,
I was a weirdo.
What? Yeah. Well,
Who knew? Who expected that?
Who?
I had some trouble making friends. Did you ever have they had in our school like this special group for kids. Like I didn't know that this was for kids who had trouble making friends, but on Thursdays we'd go and sit in a special room and it'd be like 5 or 6 kids and we'd talk about our feelings and stuff. And I would talk about aliens because I was really into aliens.
oh yeah,
I mean, what kid isn't into aliens though?
yeah, I know.
But I like would be obsessed to the point, and I think this is the autism, but obsessed to the point where when I had friends, I'd be like talking about it so much, they'd be like, Amanda, if you don't stop talking about this, we're going to tell Mrs. Hess. It was our school counselor.
You need to cool it on the aliens.
Yeah, dinosaurs was my aliens.
Dinosaurs.
I just would not
Dinosaurs
shut
was
the
my
fuck up about
aliens.
dinosaurs, no matter what you did.
Can you tell me a dinosaur fact right now?
Most dinosaurs that are found are just younger dinosaurs. They try to respecies them. And so, like, they found a bunch of dinosaurs that they thought were, they were like, we've never found a young T-Rex ever.
Huh.
But it's just because dinosaur bones mutate as they grow, so their bones, as they're left at younger generations, look completely different in older generations. So they thought they were finding completely different dinosaurs, when in all actuality, they're just finding young Tyrannosauruses or young Stegosauruses, or, but they say they never found young ones of these other dinosaurs. They're like, we've never found a young T-Rex.
Right.
But this one guy found it out because he was like cutting the dinosaur bones open. He was like, I'm not a scientist. I'll cut these fucking dinosaur bones open. He was like, scientists don't do that. They were like, they don't.
Found him in my yard. I get to do what I want.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he did. And so he did the research himself and found out that all the dinosaurs, there's like tons of these species they classified as others that were really just like young.
I think, was it
species.
the Brontosaurus that was one of those?
Yeah.
That was like...
That was one of the notable ones
I grew up.
They proved that one.
I loved dinosaurs, and then I grew up, thinking the graceful, slow-moving Brontosaurus.
Right.
And then that's not even a thing.
Nope.
That's not even a dinosaur? A brontosaurus?
It's someone just thought the bones fit together that way, and that's not how they fit or something.
Huh. I read somewhere that and I could be completely wrong, so feel free to fact check me, that we are closer to existing with a T-Rex as opposed to like a Stegosaurus. They're like a part of two different types of like eras or ages or whatever.
Exactly. I read that too. Yeah. We're closer to the T-Rex than the T-Rex is to the Stegosaurus or whatever. Something like that.
Crazy.
So that's like crazy to think of, like, and I mean, like, we only have to like our imaginations to go off of what they sounded like and look like.
Well, now I'm thinking, like, could you imagine, so think of Jurassic Park, and then they've got all these different dinosaurs that are from, like, different periods.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're born, and you're like, wait a second, I don't know who these guys are. I'm just I'm a Stegosaurus. What's up with these guys? Speaking of, I'm willing to license
if it was
my
your
last
tower,
name for Kruel, because this is my real last name.
Kruel Towers.
Kruel Towers.
Yeah, Broadway gets the same thing, I'm sure, because Tyler's last name is Broadway.
How much do people like? Oh, is that a stage name?
Somebody made him pull out his ID the other day because they were like, "You made that up." And
Yeah,
like,
a lot of people think it's a fake name.
Same.
And that's why I always try to live off of Broadway.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yeah, if you lived on Broadway, I mean, that would be interesting if you, you go try to rent a place and it's on Broadway, and you're like, hey, since I have that last name, can I get a discount on the rent?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if you guys knew this.
What do you think about this, Tyler? We did a segment called Broadway on Broadway, and we just traveled to different Broadways because there's a Broadway street everywhere.
Oh, God, there is.
And then you can just stand there, and we do segments.
And it's like, this is
Broadway on Broadway.
This is Broadway on Broadway.
And then when it's like a really small town, you can just interview the pigeons.
Yeah.
Pigeons, what do you think about me owning everything? Amanda, sweetie, could you grab Kenneth's cup? It's right behind you.
Okay.
Grazie.
Yeah, let's just give Kenneth a little splash. A little splashy poo for Kenneth.
Thank you. Good.
Now I'm thinking, like, what off-brand names could we make liquor? Have you seen? So I remember watching
Chulos.
on Sons of Anarchy. They had
like a
Jack
tequila.
Daniel, but it said Jake Denzel's.
Jake Denzel. Well, this one is Silas Jones. That already seems like an off-brand of an off-brand.
Yeah.
It already seems like they don't have enough money to sue us.
Honestly, that looks like it came from Trader Joe's.
Right?
Yeah, it does. They've got some branding on that.
Yeah.
They got some branding on that. So I guess we're
to mothers.
No,
to
non-branding.
To non-branding.
Yay! Cha-ching! Clink! Clink!
Click, 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 click.
That's what my mom says. Chin chin. Chin chin.
Wait.
I think it's a Europe thing or a my mom thing.
I love it though. Chin chin.
Chin chin.
It sounds so proper. Excuse me, dear boy. Chin chin.
I just can't picture a man saying it. But, well, never mind.
I just said it.
I was gonna say a straight man, but
Oh.
it's European.
Am I too androgynous for you, Amanda?
You're not androgynous enough.
No. Yeah, it's true. You can tell I'm very boring cis het. Is that how you pronounce it? Cis het? Like
Kishette.
Kishette?
But it's spelled Cishet. So why don't we just pronounce it Kishette?
Kishette. Because it sounds too much like Kashyyyk, and then everyone's gonna give Wookiees a bad name.
What is Kashyyyk?
It's a planet that Chewbacca is from. His race, the Wookiees, are from Kashyyyk.
And Wookiee has 2 E's.
Kashyyyk. Yeah.
It's a Wookiee.
Wookiee.
Not to be confused with a Wook, who is a hippie that only takes drugs for the sake of...
They've given him money, but he doesn't spend it on anything for some reason.
Just drugs.
Just drugs.
Drugs.
Are Wookiees
Patchwork
related
pants.
to Ewoks?
No. They're from 2 different planets.
Does the etymology relate?
I mean, surely it does, because they're both furry little bear creatures.
Ewok.
They're both mammals.
They're both mammals.
Ewok is like, do you think they're woke? Because it's an anagram of woke.
Yeah.
The Ewoks.
Ooh,
I think
Ewoks.
that
And they're on Endor, and that's an
Endor.
anagram for
Rendo.
Doran. And they have like 3 moons, so of course they're lit the
Drone.
fuck up. Drone.
Endor. Anagram for drone.
Coincidence?
Dun, dun. That is the drone you're looking for.
There you go. Endor.
Kid's very proud. He's like, look
That's
at
amazing, though.
See that? Haven't
See
even
that?
watched it. I know the
that?
line.
I know a thing or two about pop culture.
I think it's droid, but
So, Ken, do you think the monolith has anything?
Yeah, I think we can get something right now.
Anything else on monolith? What do you think?
If you could choose any era to live in, which one would it be? Do you think? Mine would be the time before people. Like if I was the only one, right?
I don't know if you could. Would you be able to survive and take care of yourself and stuff?
Oh yeah.
So you want to be like a fish, like
There would
before
be-
they walked onto land?
No, I'd still want to be a person, but before there were other people. See what it's like, you know?
Ken, you'd be so lonely.
I mean, I don't think it'll last that long.
You would want to go.
But you just see what it looks like.
You want to go back to
Hang
where
out a little
there was
bit.
no people, to where you're by yourself, and then eventually kill yourself.
No, I wouldn't kill myself. Surely I'd get eaten by some.
I mean, I just think you'd probably die from starvation.
No, I'd be able to feed myself for sure.
What would you feed yourself with?
Animals, plants.
Can you catch plants?
Oh yeah.
Those
Good.
plants
Oh,
are tricky.
You never know.
You got to upend them by their roots.
Oh yeah. I could do a little foraging. You know, a little hunting and dust.
And
hunting
You,
at dusk.
you did
know?
read the Boxcar Children.
I did.
so-
That's what I'm saying. I'm very
Yeah.
So wait, is there-
intuitive. I think that I could definitely at least live.
Is there
a
a
week
fucking?
or two.
Yeah.
Is there
Couple
is there a fucking a book? Almost said episode. Is there almost a book of the Boxcar Children traveling back in time?
I think that's called Land Before Time, Land Before the Lost, right?
Or the Lost?
Land of the
What it is?
Lost.
Land of the Lost. Yeah.
Land of the
Living
Lost,
in the
okay.
land of
Yeah, that was Land of the Lost.
Okay. But Ken, yeah, I mean, do you not like comprehend how lonely you're gonna be?
Yeah, but I feel like that if you could go back to any era, I don't think you're stuck there, right? I think that we can. It's like you can go back for a little while, right?
Well,
Maybe
that-
until you die, then you come
Is,
back.
is the question like, go there forever? Go there for a year?
Didn't
go there
specify.
We
Well,
can set our.
how can we answer a question we don't know what the question is?
I know.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could workshop a limit here. I would say like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I could definitely live 2 weeks.
The thing is, I was thinking like, would I want to go back to like Victorian times or something like that? Well, would I want to go back to any time? Because as a woman, I'm sure. I mean, that things were not great. at other
Right.
times. But would I be able to choose what social status I came in? Because if I was like not a princess, but like
Well, think
an
about
Yeah, I
heiress
think.
or
Yeah, yeah. I
something.
think that if you would be able to choose, like, not only the era but where, social
Social
status
status, yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it's like a quantum leap.
But
thing.
you would not have any social status.
I would be king of the people because I'd be the only people.
Exactly.
King of the.
Fun fact: you said Quantum Leap, like the
Yes.
show?
Yeah.
Scott Bakula
Yeah.
went to my high school,
Fuck.
Ooh, how
Kirkwood
cool.
Kirkwood High School.
Huh. Fucking Scott
I
Bakula.
actually was not high that much at high school when I was in high school.
So what age did you start smoking weed?
I had tried it a bunch before, but I think I was just doing it wrong because it didn't affect me. But about 20, when I was 26, it was like, oh, this is how you do it.
What?
Oh, you were
how
like
how are you doing it wrong?
I think I was just like
not
bringing
smoking.
the smoke into my mouth and then just like trying to blow it out and look cool.
Oh, okay. So
So-
you weren't like inhaling.
Yeah,
going full
I
Bill
mean,
Clinton.
it's inhaling is harder than you'd think,
Bill Clinton made it look so easy.
right?
He did. He based a whole campaign off of it.
I love that what Obama said. Somebody said like, Obama, did you inhale? And he's like, of course I did. That's the fucking point. Or something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
know. Obama like gave no fucks. He was just like, you can better believe that I smoked the sticky of the ickiest.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm actually. Oh, I think those edibles are kicking in.
Yeah.
We are blasting off people.
Oh.
We are.
Forget SpaceX.
We are blasting off people. I would go back to the 60s.
60s?
I am the perfect candidate to go back in the 60s and be like a road manager for a psychedelic band.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool because I was thinking like maybe if you were going to go back, you'd be like William F. Buckley and just be like super right wing and
God, no.
They would
You
call him
never
like
know.
Tricky Tyler.
Oh, Tricky Tyler.
Tricky Tyler.
Tricky Tyler Broadway.
I am not a book. That's my that's my phrase. Is that I want people to know I am not a book.
Well, good because I wasn't sure for a second.
Because you look a little Moby Dick over there. Yeah, I would go back to I think there was such a pivotal moment in American history that like it was like the first time, like besides the 50s and besides maybe the 20s, that women were allowed to be horny.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was around like 64, like with the British invasion and the Beatles showed up. It was like the
then
first
birth
time.
control pills came out.
It's like, ladies, time to get those johnnies wet. Look at these ugly ass British boys that are.
Like, hey, how you
Just-
doing, love?
How you doing, love?
Hey, love.
Smile with the mouth closed, and then they're hot.
And then they're hot.
Yeah, but they all have money, so.
And it was just like a very experimental time for music,
Yeah.
which
was.
I can really get behind because just like a
Do you
lot
think
of.
that you would go? You think that you would be trying to get all those blues musicians that didn't have any voice? You think you'd be giving them
so
a
we
voice?
got 10 years. We got from 1960 to 69.
Yeah.
So like those first few years, yeah, I'm getting along that blues revival where all the blues musicians are going to Britain.
Name
and
some.
Like Howlin' Wolf,
Muddy Waters.
Ooh.
John Lee Hooker, Bo Diddley.
Who's the guy at the crossroads?
Oh, fucking Robert Johnson. But he
Robert
was dead
Johnson.
by then.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, he
very
was-
impressed.
he
I
was
thought you
dead
were
by
just saying
then.
those blues guys, and you were just like pulling that.
No,
out.
I
Yes,
am a
you know. I'm
an
impressed.
avid blues listener. Like the fucking Sun House. I love Sun. I watched this documentary called Festival, and it was about a blues and folk music festival in 1964. And that's where like it was like a revival of blues musicians, but they also had like Bob Dylan there or whatever.
Where was it?
It was in Newport.
What, Connecticut?
Yeah, Newport, Connecticut.
Oh,
And
boy.
I think that's where it was. But there was like this interview
Island.
of Son House, and he was talking about how during the daytime he would be a preacher, and at night he would play the blues music in the bars. And he was just like, his interview segment was so weird, but it was so like comforting and so human because he's like, sometimes when I'm just so sad, I just cry all day. I'll sit in a room and I'll just cry all
That's
day.
the blues, my friend.
It's just the
Hell
it's just the
yeah.
blues.
How many songs start out with, well, I woke up this morning?
A lot.
There's so many of them.
When I think of the blues, that's
when
what
I woke
think
up
of.
this morning.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes the blues, Amanda, is about the whole day.
Well, the mornings, that's where it starts.
Yep.
So you got to.
Can't have the blues all day if you don't start in the morning.
But it's just interesting. Like, can you imagine the writing session of that? It's like, all right, how do we start this song? Well, I woke up this morning.
They're like, yeah, I think I'm going to use that. Well, I woke up this morning.
God damn it, you taking my lines. I'm the only one that's waking up this morning with the blues.
I think everybody wakes up, Robert.
Well, I woke up this morning and I had my cream of wheat. And I was feeling so blue that I went out on the street. I don't have anything to
No, I love it. I love like the first world problem blues. Like, I woke up this morning. My Wi-Fi wasn't working.
My TV took 20 seconds to turn on. There we go.
The washing machine didn't have the clothes just quite dry yet.
And then I couldn't get a double McCheese.
11:35.
Oh yeah, we got on a weird blues kid. But yeah, so like that would be the first part of my like, and then like 65.
So you would be going back there as a white person though.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, what better time to be white than the 60s?
That's what I'm saying.
Was that controversial, Ken?
That's not controversial. That's reality.
I mean, the 50s were pretty good, too.
I mean, any real time frame's good to be white.
The further back in American times, the better it is for being a man, I think.
Oh, for sure.
Especially a white man.
For sure.
So.
But I'd be like, if it's 18...
Except, in times of America, like British invaded America.
Right.
Terrible time to be in a Native American.
Back when Britain was ruling the world, of course.
They thought.
The sun never sets on the British Empire.
But like if it was 1800s, I'd be so useless. I couldn't build a cabin. I couldn't like hunt or fucking...
Well, that's like if
be
you
a
were
jester.
living in the woods, like Ken here. If you were living in a city, you could shoe shine? Do they do that? back then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They had shoes.
Work on the
in
street.
They had shoes.
1800s.
They needed to be shined.
You could be a paper boy, newsboy.
I could see
Extra,
Tyler.
extra.
I could see Tyler being one of those guys that wakes you up in the morning.
All right, now, Governor.
You know, because they didn't have alarm clocks, they just had somebody that come around and peck on your window until you got up.
You had to pay for it, though.
Oh yeah, you had to pay for it.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, it's about.
Hello.
The sun's about up.
Hey, sun's about up.
Tink, tink, tink.
How do you guys wake someone up if you're waking someone up?
I don't.
Oh, so I...
You won't catch
Someone
me.
says,
You won't
wake
catch
me up by 4.
Nope. You
So-
better set an alarm. I'm not waking nobody up.
So I have
What
to
if it was your children?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have to wake him up, but that's my responsibility.
But like you're gonna talk to your child differently than you're gonna talk to like a partner or another adult. Like for you, waking up Judah's just like, hey, dude, it's time to get up.
Yeah. Sometimes I have to tell him twice, but he's usually pretty good about getting up.
Whenever I have to wake up Sandy, it's like a fucking like suicidal negotiation.
Yeah, I'm
Like-
never waking up waking up a partner. No.
I gotta like, her alarm will go off at like 6:40, and she'll hit it, and then I'm like, Sandy, it's time to get up.
And she's like,
And she's like, no. She's like, 5 more minutes.
It's like, Alexa, snooze.
And I'm like, all right, 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes pass. Alarm goes off. She shuts it off again. Hey, Sandy, it's 6:45. You need to get up and get in the shower. Like 10 more minutes, and I'm like, Sandy, you can't go up in these negotiations. All right, we already gave you 5 minutes. There's no way I'm giving you 10. Here's what I can do. I can give you 3 minutes. 3 minutes pass, Sandy. It's 6:48.
she's like, give me 6 minutes.
Give me some. I'm like, bitch. No, we do not go up in negotiation. And then eventually she will get up.
See, I can see your perspective on this. Like, trying to, like,
No, you got to make
if
people
it's your responsibility, get the fuck up and go. But if
agree.
it's like,
But see,
wake
this-
me up because I want to go to the bar with you.
Yeah,
It's a little different.
Yeah, I think
Right.
I think that maybe I would wake somebody up for that, but
I'm
like if we
just-
were going to do, it was like, hey, we're going to Dollywood. Get up.
Yeah, I just turn into like a very soothing AMSR video. I'm just like, okay, the time is now 6:49 a.m.
See, that would make me want to fall asleep, not get up.
But yeah, well, I mean, I'm like nudging on her. And
Do you have like a song that you play to inspire you to wake you up?
Dirty deep, cheap.
for the longest time, my alarm was "Take My Hand" by Matt Berry. It's the theme song for Toast of London.
I
Right?
love that show, and nobody else does.
Yeah,
I
so the
love
themes-
Matt Berry.
Yeah. Oh God, I love Matt Berry.
If you get to interview Matt Berry on the show, like at least let me sit.
Oh,
and-
100%.
you're here.
Matt Berry, if you happen to listen
You're
in.
out there, Matt Berry.
Matt Berry.
I love Matt. Have you listened to his music? Like he wrote,
I didn't know.
He wrote the theme for Toast of
Oh
London.
my God.
Yeah, and he's got like all
Write that
sorts
down,
of
Amanda.
albums.
You better
just-
write
and
that down.
He's so good looking, and then on top of this, he's a musician.
And he has like that voice. Father.
That's your style of voicing.
Do you think so?
Voice
like
exchange.
like
yeah,
the-
you love a
a good deep voice of like
good deep raspy
yes.
trillium.
That's so true because like
I
my
know.
favorite blues musician is Howlin' Wolf, and he
I know.
talks like
I know.
this.
He talks like he is a pack of cigarettes. For sure.
He's a walking pack of cigarettes.
Yeah. He's a walking pack of unfiltered Lucky Strikes.
Damn.
Oh, that's so awesome that you've heard of Matt Berry too, though. Like,
See, that's the thing is everybody has heard Matt Berry.
But they
They don't know him by name.
right?
Because if Rick and Morty, he's been in like every animated show ever.
Yeah, he has he's done so many like voiceover stuff, and he's in like especially now like so many like shows I'll be watching, and he's just guest spotted on there.
Yeah.
Or
He must be just loved by the industry, you know?
yeah, well, I mean, he's been doing it for a while. Like the first thing I watched him on was like one of his first like roles, and that was Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Love Dark Place. And then like now he's got like What We Do in the Shadows.
God, and how
I
can you?
love that one so much.
Yeah. The
The
writing.
IT crowd was, I think, what got me.
I love IT crowd.
Yeah. Yes.
IT crowd,
Yeah.
yeah. And I even like the first boss from that first season.
Yes.
Like Matt Berry's father.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought he was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, definitely. That reminds me. Did you see the British Office?
Yes. I watched it a long time ago.
Did you see it, Kevin?
Oh yeah, yeah. I watched the British Office.
I heard that Steve Carell watched like the first episode, before he started doing
was
the
like,
American
"Nah."
one, and then he said like, I can't watch anymore because I'm going to be too influenced by Ricky Gervais.
Oh no.
Yeah, and you can see that a lot in the first season of The Office because, like, Steve Carell looks just like a tad bit heavier, and he's doing like his hair slicked back.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's so true. I didn't realize it, but you're absolutely right
But
about that.
and I do love that like around the second season it was kind of like, all right, we gotta kind of do our own thing with it, and I'm
Yeah.
glad he did like what he did.
Well, and the other thing is with the British version of The Office, it's very funny, but like in a very depressing way.
It's there's
Schadenfreude.
well yeah, and there's
it's a lot more deep-seated British humor.
well there's a big difference between like the dry humor of Britain and the dry humor here.
Yeah.
Like our dry is just like a monotone sarcasm, whereas the British dry is like it could be something completely wacky, but it's played like incredibly straight.
Yeah.
I'm
They just
trying to
had a lot longer
remember.
to
Do you know the
practice.
poem Excalibur that he read for the girl? I froze my tears into a dagger and stabbed it in my heart forever. Something. Will you be my Excalibur? Tell me you are. Something. But. Oh no! I froze my tears and made a dagger and stabbed it in my cock forever. That's the poetry.
So, I mean, I'm glad we're kind of on the subject. Like, Amanda, what are some of your, like, influences for, like, doing comedy or just, like, writing jokes in general?
Syphil and Ollie.
Syphil and Ollie, really?
I mean, Syphil and Ollie, right?
Like
Sock puppets.
Oh, okay.
So it's a show on MTV in like 1997 or 98. And
The dudes with the bats. Those are British people. British puppets.
was-
I'm just
no.
naming puppets I know.
no, it was not
You're
dudes.
thinking of like the make believe from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah.
Make-believe
I'm just
puppets.
naming puppets I know.
No, so this was a show that I guess Liam Lynch sent in some VHS tapes to MTV, and like they were like, okay, and it was like really shitty VHS tapes with puppets, and they just talk about random shit, and they sing songs, and they have interviews, and it's very dumb. My ringtone is still the calls from the public theme song from that section of the show, but in terms of comedy, I think so. When I was a kid, I remember being in 3rd grade on the bus, and I had just heard my favorite joke. Why did the monkey fall out of the tree?
Why?
Because he was dead. Why did the second monkey fall out of the tree?
Why?
Monkey see, monkey do. Why did the third monkey fall out of the tree?
Why?
Peer pressure. So this was
I like
my
the
sense.
three. It's got threes. It's a misdirect.
It's a great way to get other kids on the bus to think you're weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I try to be, I'm feeling special. I'm remembering my French teacher wrote something in my yearbook. J'adore ta comédie. I love your comedy.
Oh.
And you know what's funny is that yearbook is my 2002 yearbook, and that yearbook was the year that Nikki Glazer was a senior in my high school.
Oh,
Ooh,
shit.
full
So
circle.
there's a picture on the page about French Club where she's like writing J'adore Madame Calfus, who is the one that wrote that she loved my comedy, and then in the bottom right there's a picture of me looking at food. So
Okay, so I have this theory about how people live on, right? Mm-hmm. So as you're alive, you impact people all the time.
Yeah.
Words that you say, phrases that you say, things that you do. And as you impact them, they spread that to other people. And if you're an
Yes.
impactful person, you're memorable, you're verbose, maybe, you people remember you. People, those
Yeah.
things that you do, the way that you point at things, the way that you say certain things, jokes that you have, certain amount, like the caliber of jokes that you have, right? Like being punny, being,
Yeah.
this or that, sarcastic or whatever. You filter that onto the other people that care about you. And the more you care about somebody, the more those things filter onto you.
Yeah.
And so like your father, your mother, these people that you care about immensely, your brothers, sisters, best friends, you end up taking those dichotomies on as your own and kind of putting your own spin on them. But that's how people live on through other people. I will
Yeah.
be passing on those things that Tyler gives to me, you give to me, these friends that I have, to my child. He'll be passing it on to his child because that's what builds my character and my, the way that I feel. So.
Well, I mean, I think that's just a good way to like really enjoy the human experience.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Friendships, people we encounter, people that we like watch, people that influence us, like the media that we consume is all like we take parts of it. Like, sure, you can like fit it into your own personality, but at the end of the day, like that's what it's all about. Like,
Yeah.
all of it should be a part
Yeah.
of your personality.
Well, it's so interesting though because 20 years ago there was so much less just content around. So Fight Club, everybody saw Fight Club because it was such a great movie, and there weren't a zillion other great movies coming out at the time.
Yeah.
But right now there's a shit. I don't watch movies, but I've heard that most of them are pretty good. So
I mean, there's still some stinkers, but yeah,
Yeah.
for the most part.
So it's just like in a way we don't have that cultural consciousness way to connect the way we used to. Honestly, I think that the early quarantine was perfect because everybody watched Tiger King.
And it brought like a
Everybody,
unity
yep.
zeitgeist that hasn't been seen since like before streaming services. Because like before
Yeah.
when it's just TV, it's like, yeah, everyone's gonna watch X-Files or everyone's gonna
Yeah.
watch this because that's the
It's
only
the
thing
only
to
That's
thing
watch.
you don't have a
on.
choice. You don't get to pick.
Dateline's on
Yeah.
Thursdays at 6
Yes.
o'clock. Everybody watched it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like everybody watched TGIF. It's the only thing on Friday night.
And
the
so-
only thing.
And so now like everything is so niche, like so very much to like whatever your sensibility is. that there's an audience, there's content for it.
But that's the reason why we're here doing this, is because we have the ability. And I said this when we first kind of met and started kind of talking about film stuff, Tyler. I said that, we all need to remember that we are in the infancy of an age that is unlike any other thing that we've come across in this industry. Mm-hmm. We can produce, make things, anything from about 1997, 1999, almost 2000, me and you could produce and make. Mm-hmm. Television shows, all the shit that was on TV, fucking Fear Factor, all the shit, we have the equipment to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's accessible, the knowledge is accessible. It's not gatekeeped like it used to be.
Yeah.
And
or a DV camera was $10,000 or whatever.
And now we have a $1,000 setup that could film a lot of shit.
Yep.
Yeah. And like you can buy a fucking ring light at Dollar Tree. Like
yeah. I mean, anybody has the opportunity to now, and it's not up to the networks who gets their voice out. Mm-hmm. And it's not up to writers and producers of these big companies, NBC, ABC, to decide what we see for our entertainment. Because that, as we were kids, that guided us. The clothes that we wore, the things the toys that we played with, Street Sharks and fucking Pogs.
Dude, I cannot hear anyone say "go for it" without following up with "Connect 4."
Yeah,
go for it.
No shit.
Connect 4.
Like
it was what they said about the TV was true. About it being brainwashing.
Yes,
it was.
Absolutely.
But it wasn't because it was a television. It was because the people producing the content on the television was brainwashing.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Irreversible kind of fucked me up.
Yeah, it's and
Catch
what's
me up.
funny, so
it's a movie that it's about people that can't be reversed.
No, it's this chain of events, but it's played backwards.
It's kind of like Memento, but instead of
the momentum is backwards.
It's just they play like scenes, like last scene chronologically they play first.
Yeah. It's like that Netflix thing. What was that one? They played it all in different orders. What was that thing?
I don't know, but I'm interested.
It was you probably seen it. It was the Netflix. It was the weird ass shit.
Was it fucking Bandersnatch?
The first episode was but it was a little bit before that. The first episode was like this politician has to have
Black Mirror. It is Black Mirror. Yeah.
That's how Black Mirror is. It's all out of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like this one is like
there's a certain order you have to watch it in.
Spoilers ahead, from what I understand, is that like Irreversible is about a lady who gets raped.
Yes.
And that rape scene is fucking brutal.
And it's crazy.
Maybe that's why I didn't.
She's also pregnant when she's raped.
Yep.
And
it's her brother trying to figure out who did it,
or fight to save her, something. Yeah. Like that. I can't remember it, but what's fun? I mean, this isn't fun, but the woman who played the actress who played the pregnant woman who got raped went on to play Mary Magdalene in Passion of the Christ. Within 3 or 4 years.
Oh wow!
Is that like a? Did they do like a little? Did they do like a little? It's like the same. It's like the same universe.
Irreversible takes place in the same universe as Passion of the Christ. 100%, because that's our timeline, Ken.
Yeah, way back then, all the clubs they had and the tunnels underneath where you rape women.
They're like, "Come in here, sir. You party with the sheep."
You know all about partying with the sheep, don't you?
Dude, I do. They're pretty wild, man.
They're pretty ballin'.
Yeah, whatever you said.
I said ballin'.
I know. I'm just kidding.
They're delicious also.
They are delicious. Good. I haven't got to eat any of our sheep yet.
You never had lamb chops?
I have had lamb chops.
Okay,
I do
just
love
not
sheep.
your lamb chops.
I've been to a Brazzerios.
Do you have your own sheep?
Yeah, I do.
I can't believe. I mean, I'm excited by this. This is good.
I have an elderly flock that I got for really cheap, which I run a farm. My day job is I'm a farmer.
Wow, that really is a day job.
Yeah, it is.
Like
it's early morning. It's a day job.
Yeah.
Hold on, I have a joke pertaining to this that I've been workshopping.
Go for it, dude.
Do you guys want to hear it?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to tell it like a traditional joke, but I need to do it like a stand-up thing. So it's like
well, you can stand up if you want.
Stand up, dude.
Okay.
Have a stand.
So, my friend Ken, he has a farm, and I've done some work on there, like help out from time to time, and I couldn't help but to notice that one of his bulls was having sex with this chicken. And I asked myself, why is a bull having sex with a chicken? I guess the rooster must be a cuckadoodle-doo. That's the joke I'm workshopping.
No, I like that.
Yeah, I like where you're going with that.
Because I was thinking like, oh, that was the only cock available or something.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I might do a stand-up set one day. Who knows?
Let's come up. What farmyard jokes can we come up with right now?
Oh man.
And I want to say not bestiality because that's too obvious.
Yeah,
That's too obvious. It's too obvious.
Hold on.
There is. I do know a bestiality one though.
You only know one bestiality
it's
joke?
It's
Come
more
on.
factual than anything. It's more of a scenario.
Let's
So
hear it.
like back in the day, the reason why this whole bestiality thing is like an issue, right? Why they say farmers.
Here's why it's an
And-
issue.
Like
Here's why it's
people,
an issue.
Why people disapprove of it?
Yeah, well, why it's even brought up. There's not one farmer. Animal husbandry in the farming community is taken very seriously. We're not fucking any animals. I promise.
Not with that attitude.
I know, exactly.
I know, right.
Okay,
Like
so
Ken.
back in the day, this is what happened. So animal rustling was a very big offense, right? So to steal other people's animals, like go on their property.
That's what rustling
rustling,
means?
animal rustling, yeah.
RUSTLANG. I'm just.
Yeah. No, yeah, rustling. Yeah. That's right,
Okay.
R-U-S-T-L-N-E.
There's
yeah.
southern accents, and I have a hard time understanding the words sometimes.
Yeah. And so what that meant was that if you were caught stealing animals, it was one of the only offenses that you could just kill a man for.
Right.
Right? You just kill him. It's just on site. You just say, hey, you call the sheriff. You say, hey, man, I found some cow rustlers. I just went ahead and shot them. And they say, oh, all right, cool. Just leave them there. We'll write that down, I guess, you know? And so that was the deal back in the day. And so what happened is that when you were cow rustling, what wasn't a crime was fucking animals. Nobody even cared, right? Up until a certain point.
Oh, hell, he's jizzing in my livestock.
Yeah, no. This is real. So all these cow rustlers, they'd be rustling all these cattle, and then they would get caught, and they go, "Oh, we're not stealing these animals. We're out here fucking them." Right? That's what we're doing. I swear to God. I know it's hard to believe, but we're not stealing them. So you guys don't have to kill us. Because all we're doing is fucking these animals. We're treating them real nice.
He
out
started
here.
humping me first.
Yeah. He had a look in his eye.
He came on to me, so I came into him.
That's right. And that's what saved a lot of animal rustlers' lives is by saying. So that's where that whole thing. I don't think that as being a farmer and being a person that is very good to his animals, I don't think that people would do that. It's disgusting.
I mean,
That would be.
you're close enough to a city where there's other
Disgusting.
females. There's
Yeah.
other females.
Maybe if it was
Maybe
if it
you
was some.
just do you keep your sheep clean?
No, they're filthy fucking
Well-
animals. They just shit and piss everywhere.
No
all the
wonder. You don't want to fuck a
Maybe
dirty
it's-
sheep. Like clean up your sheep
time.
once in a
Maybe we
while.
should clean them up a little bit, man.
Look, it's any port in a storm.
Exactly. The other thing is, I've heard of, dolphins making moves on people.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
there's a lot of dolphin
Yeah, but they're smart, dude. They're just chasing that money, you know.
There was
Dolphins?
a website, dolphinsex.org. This is from the old internet 20 years ago. It is long gone.
Okay.
But it was just, plain text, and it was
This
just
has
how
got to
to-
still be a website.
how to you can find it, but it's so no longer dolphinsex.org. But it's basically how to have sex with the dolphin, how to please it, like when you rub the belly and it turns red, that's when you know it's time to very
what?
educational. This is the education that we have on the
weird.
internet. But
Yeah.
if that's the thing is like what if the dolphin wants it?
Wasn't there that lady that was like a dolphin scientist and she was all into it? She was like, "This is my husband."
I believe it.
This is my husband. This is my baby daddy. He a dolphin.
Yeah, and there was that lady that remember that monkey a couple years back? It was probably 10 years ago. There was orangutan that ate that woman's like fingers and nose off. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so the real story with that orangutan is that the lady that got attacked was this lady's friend, the owner's friend.
Uh-huh.
The owner owned this orangutan, let it smoke cigarettes, let it take Xanax and
Wow.
drink. And
Did it
she would
know
have-
that that's
she
what
would
it was
have-
doing? Was
yeah.
it like, no,
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
sure.
want a Xanax now. I want
Yeah,
the...
oh, I'm sure it was. They're smart.
They are.
And apparently she was also having sex with this. She had a sexual relationship with this orangutan. The lady that got attacked brought the woman a birthday cake for her birthday, and the orangutan got jealous and attacked her for it.
Aw.
Right? So there's
What
like
chivalry.
Yeah, he was a very chivalrous orangutan.
That
He did not
orangutan
want
loved
nobody
her.
jocking on his biatch, you know?
On his biatch. It was that show fucking 1,000 Ways to Die that like
That was a good one.
that pointed out like the animal that has the closest anatomy to a female vagina is, or just a vagina in general, I should say, is a manatee.
Ooh, manatees, huh?
I believe it.
So I mean, I thought that was weird. Like,
Is that why all those sailors thought they were
Mermaids.
any ship in a port, or any port in a store, any ship in
store,
I'm just
any
gonna, I'm
ship
gonna
in a
ro-
port, any port in a
I'm gonna-
bar, any.
I'm gonna roll with like the original mispronunciation. Any ship in a store, in a port. There's a port and needs some ships to be filled. Like,
Send in that pink torpedo. Spinal Tap reference.
Spinal Tap, yeah.
Yeah.
I do love Spinal. That was a great movie too.
And I love how it's become such a part of our culture that people, like politicians, are like, we don't want to turn it up to 11 on this one, or something like that. Like, they're mentioning Spinal Tap. That's
That's
so cool.
good though. Yeah, I read
Yeah, I like
somewhere that Ozzy Osbourne, when he first watched that, was like, "Oh wait, that wasn't a documentary."
Believe it.
He's like, not a documentary.
guys.
I've got a funny fact about Ozzy Osbourne, real quick.
Oh shit! Are you gonna tell your Cape story?
I do.
Hold on. Should we take a shot before
Yeah,
we do
let's
that?
take a shot. I'll
this is
tell
a
the
good.
Ozzy story.
I think the Ozzy story is.
Whenever you got yours.
I got a cup. I got some.
I think an Aussie story is a good thing to wrap things up. I think we're getting close to that time, right?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Cheers to
Cheers, cheers.
To Aussie.
To Ozzy, he gets. The older I get, the better he is. I'm telling you what. So, Ozzy story won't take too long. I own, supposedly, an Ozzy cape.
Is it a cape that you wear?
It's like a silken cape. Yeah.
that belonged to Ozzy
So it
Osbourne.
belonged to Ozzy Osbourne.
That's not the end of the story, right?
No, it's not the end of the story. We'll show you how we get there.
No, it's just the beginning.
So
I was
in
gonna say.
1979, it's either 1979 or 1976, Ozzy Osbourne had a tour with Black Sabbath, and they came through Knoxville. They had problems with their tour bus. And so my grandfather, he owned a RV repair shop and RV dealer, right? Nice. So he let them borrow a RV and for the tour because they theirs went down. We fixed it. We returned our RV to them, or they returned our RV to us. And then we gave theirs back. Well, upon
Did they know who Ozzy Osbourne was?
Yeah. They Ozzy Osbourne was a very big. Black Sabbath 1979 was very hot.
I'm just thinking, like, if I had property and I was going to let somebody into it and trust them to be on my property while I'm not there and take care of it.
Oh no, they
Ozzy
didn't know.
Osbourne,
It was
Black
just like
Sabbath.
it was just like a tour management decision. So like their bus broke down. The only way that you can have something like that fixed is to send it to a shop, not like
Right.
something you can fix on the side of the road, right? And so while we were fixing their RV, we gave them one to use, right?
Do you have a nasty one?
No, it's probably a pretty nice one.
That's probably
all
yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's probably like a Bluebird or something. It's probably a really nice RV.
Yeah.
And so upon the return of our RV, there was a box underneath the back bed, which this cape was in. So Ken Beaver, the guy that was working for my grandfather's RV shop, he was the young man that was cleaning out RVs. So we would rent RVs for people to use and camp in and live in and things like that. And when they were returned, we'd have somebody clean them out and get them ready for the next rental. And that was Ken Beaver. Well, Ken Beaver, some years, he kept this cape. He kept it.
Is this a famous person? Ken Beaver?
No, he's
Okay,
not.
just
He's
the
not a
name of
famous
a
person.
Okay.
You just got the
The only famous person in this story is Ozzy Osbourne.
but with a name like Ken Beavers.
No. He's a really nice guy. Was a really nice guy. His daughter had a bunch of health complications when we were
Does
growing
she
up.
also have a beaver?
Her last name was Beaver. I assume that she had a beaver. I don't think that the health complications had to do with her genitalia. But
Hope not.
but they were really, really nice people. Ken, unfortunately, is a heroin addict now. And so this is how I acquired this cape. He traded it to my father, who was at the time also a heroin addict, which my father is not now. He has been out of prison for a year.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day for him. He gets to experience another one. And so Ken Beaver traded this cape to my father for heroin at some point, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. And immediately upon my dad getting it, I was involved in all of his comings and goings at this point because I was trying to get him not to die from heroin, you know. And so as soon as this cape showed up at my father's house, I took it. I said, if this story is true, you guys don't get to.
If this story's true, I can become a wizard and save my dad's life.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a magician's cape.
That's right. That's right. Obviously.
It's illusionist.
And so, but it's heavy silk. It's like very thick silk, right? And it's got these tassels on the back of it. It's got a cross on the back of it. It's got these emblems on the cuff that are Black Sabbath emblems.
Why are you not wearing that right now?
I know. I've got it put up. I've tried to get authentication on it because it's silk. It's going to deteriorate, you know. So I try to keep it put up. But I've written a lot of letters to Ozzy's publicist and to Sharon, trying to get them to just talk to me about it, you know, and nobody's really responded or seen any interest in it. So I made a post about it on Reddit. Everybody said this is what the only opposition was, right? Mm-hmm. This thing could be a Halloween costume that somebody's grandmother made them. And this whole story could be some kind of farce that a heroin addict made up, right? So Ken Beaver, maybe his grandmother made him this when he was, let's say this was 1979. Ken Beaver was 14 years old. He was 5'9" right now as a grown man heroin addict, right? Mm-hmm. Short man. So this cape would have been too big for a 14-year-old of his stature. It's for a grown man, right? And so like,
how tall do you have to be a heroin addict?
At least I don't know if there's a height on that.
You must be this tall to shoot up.
I think that the shorter you are, though, the better it works. You know?
Yeah. Well, body mass, I'm sure. I don't need to be eating cheese, because it's like super fattening. A, B.
Amanda,
I'm fine. You should eat cheese. You should get
dairy.
Cheese.
Fucks with me.
You do what makes you happy. For me, cheese makes me happy.
So I'll give you my cheese.
That's fair. I'll take
your
cheese.
You can send it to me. You can send me your cheese.
No. She already agreed to give me her cheese.
She's going to split her cheese with us.
Fine. We can cut the cheese together, but I'll be damned if we break bread.
Thank you.
So
right,
it's fun, though. My mom loves cheese. Like, she orders, like, she's like, can I get extra cheese? And they're like, sure. And then she's like, okay. And then can I get 3 times what you would give for extra cheese? They bring her a little bowl of cheese.
I need 4 times.
A big bowl
4
of
times
cheese.
the cheese.
Complimentary cheese.
Cheese nuts.
Ken, what time are we sitting at?
We're at 1:25.
You want to go ahead and sign us off?
We can sign us off if everybody's ready. Everybody had a good
hang on.
show.
I think we're good. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Amanda, do you got anything to talk about? You got anything to plug? You got any shows?
Anything you want to plug?
They're maybe 6 weeks out. Right?
Yeah.
Is there something that you know about that I can't remember?
No.
Oh, okay. But the 2 things I had notes on, when I asked you how to spell whatever it was, because someone told me, you know, he had one of those, like a motorcycle, but it was like a tricycle.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem already. Red flag.
Yeah. And I thought it was called a spotter.
A spotter? The motorcycle?
Apparently it's a spider. But the way this guy pronounced it,
I've never heard of it.
it's a spotter.
Oh, that's like the
I've heard of a spotter.
Yeah,
Spotter.
that's the southern accent.
Yeah, I
that you
get
have
that.
trouble
That's the
with.
thing is, like, I'm not from here. I got to clarify.
I get that. And, you know, sometimes the drunker I get, the more southern I get. But for the most part, people can't. If I go to somewhere else, I lived in New York for a couple of years when I was a young child.
Where, like upstate or like?
I lived in Manhattan.
Ooh.
And
Nice.
yeah, my mom and my dad got divorced, and my mom moved me and my sister to Manhattan. She started dating this guy. That's my phone. Can you turn that off, Tyler?
Yeah, I can go off and turn it off.
Well, she started dating this guy, and she moved us to New York. She thought that was a good decision as a mother.
I mean, if
you know.
he's paying for it.
He was paying for it. His name was Randolph. Never met him before in my life. But we had a apartment that was above a pet store in Manhattan, and we were right next to the park, and you could see the Statue of Liberty from my bedroom window.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did it inspire you every morning to be a
It did
real
not.
American?
I obsessively ate peanut butter and jelly sandwiches only, and
Crust on or off?
crust on. I was
Cut
psychotic
diagonal or
child.
no?
Doesn't matter.
What, I mean, did you mostly eat? Were they not cut?
Not cut. Nobody cared.
Uncut, uncircumcised.
Uncut sandwiches.
That's how we did our sandwich. I mean,
I didn't cut mine either as a kid.
it's a classy upper class family
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, it is.
And-
it is.
but-
Nobody's
Cut the
cutting
sandwich.
nobody's taking the time to cut your sandwich at my house. I will tell you that. You just be lucky that you got a damn sandwich.
Yeah.
But Amanda,
Not a slice of Colby cheese.
Not just a slice of
Amanda,
warm slice of Colby cheese.
do you have anything you want to plug?
Right. Okay.
That's universal, like not an upcoming event because this probably won't come out.
Yeah, we have no idea when this will come out. But often, it used to be every week, but right now we're going with often. I host an open mic at Brickyard Bar and Grill over in Bearden, which is in Knoxville. And
They're good friends of the shows. Everybody should go to Brickyard.
Yes,
Everyone, yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to reveal this in case they don't know this. Shot for Shot, I don't know if they started at Brickyard, but they ruled Brickyard. There was a time where we had the mic sign up, and I had a separate little section for people to check if they wanted to do Shot for Shot.
Yeah, the good old days.
I mean, that was definitely
We
like.
miss you.
We're hoping to come back.
We're hoping to come back to the
Do you
Brickyard.
want to come back like tonight?
Yeah, we could do this tonight. Yeah.
Like if you're serious, because Tyler Gallant is hosting, and so I get to fuck around and not have to
That's true.
be watching the timer. But oh man, so yes,
If not
So, yeah.
tonight,
If-
soon.
yes.
Soon.
So Brickyard, we do comedy sometimes on Sundays, sometimes
Not.
surprise. But if you want to know, that's the thing. It used to be like you could just assume, and feel confident and safe in knowing that there was a mic on Sundays at Brickyard.
Yep.
Unfortunately, now that is not the case.
Oh, no.
You cannot feel safe. Again, this fear of abandonment thing, that's where
Yep.
this comes
Yeah,
in.
no,
Yeah,
it's the
we are
schemas.
struggling with it
Yes.
here at our venue as
So-
well. So
Join the Knox Comedy Facebook group or the Knoxville Comedians Facebook group or both. And
all of the above.
I post about it when we're going to have the mic. And so Tyler, because I was coming here and I was like, we're doing these shots. And I was sitting next to Tyler over at eVape. And I was like, hey, are you ever interested in hosting? I feel bad because there's like good comedians,
Yeah.
but it's just
But sometimes you want somebody that's outside the circle to be the host.
no. So I just ask like whoever's right nearby, like within
Just a
3 feet
compulsion.
of me.
you.
It's just a
Host?
convulsion at this
That's
point.
the thing. Like if I hadn't already asked Tyler to host, I would wait. You're also Tyler.
I am also talking. That's why
I thought you were.
confused. I was
I thought you were talking
Oh
about
my
our Tyler.
God. Well, so there's this guy Tyler Gallant. He's
Yeah.
a comedian. Can we do a thing where you show up and you think that's you're like
Oh,
I'm
we
here to
should
host. I'm here to ask
definitely
you
do
to
that.
host.
Wrong
On the night that we
Tyler.
do, at the night that that Shot for Shot shows up there, we'll definitely. That's 100% a bit that we could do.
Oh yeah.
Because tonight, so it's going to be like Tyler Gallant's hosting, and I would just love to like set the mic up on the stage.
And Tyler saunters up there like a
guys.
walk.
Saunters.
Hey guys, we're here at the Brickyard.
I know y'all missed us, and you definitely weren't expecting a different Tyler. I'm Tyler Broadway.
Broadway.
Whose name it even comes before him in the alphabet. I'm hosting tonight.
The other thing-
Tyler, go fuck yourself. Fuck white people. Get your cis ass out of here, you skinny cappuccino fuck.
Plus, his name is Tyler Gallant. That's how you pronounce it, but it's just spelled Gallant. Gallant. So it's Gallant. Well,
It's
that's
just
like
Gallant.
Tyler
that's
Gallant.
a straight.
But-
that's a stage
But
name.
a
That could-
proper name you can say however you
I mean,
want.
it could be that's a name that could go for a stage name, like a natural born name that can go for a stage name. which we get.
Woo! Ken, you want to
Sorry,
take us
Ken.
out? I want to thank our lovely guest, Amanda.
Let
or
me
one more
finish
thing?
up. So, I backed the wrong horse, and my main social media is Twitter. So I'm at Squeeds on Twitter,
Squeeds?
Yes, but that's
Weeds?
me everywhere. And I like to do stuff, but I like to help on stuff more than I like to do stuff. So
I feel that.
if you want help on stuff, I'd be happy to volunteer until I get the confidence to ask for pay. But that's not going to happen anytime soon. But
Maybe.
Well, you heard her,
Knoxville
folks. You heard it here,
Knoxville-
folks. If you want some guilt-free, free help,
yeah.
ask Amanda
Kruel.
Kruel.
SK Weeds. Ken,
Squeeds.
take us out. Do you want to take us out?
I don't mind taking us out at all, Tyler. This has been a great episode. We actually recorded the audio on this, so that's
Let's
to us.
hope
We
so.
finally got here. Tyler, it's been an amazing episode. I'm Kenneth Patterson. This is the Shot for Shot podcast.
Woo!
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.